Welcome home, Raiders. Tonight, there's nothing to talk about, really. Can't think of a thing. Oh, right, 8.2 hits the PTR, and all that and more as Convert to Raid presents the Battlenet News! Oh, wait, hold on one second. There we go. Nope, that's not it. There we go. Oh, damn. All right. We've got the video all straightened out now. From the CTR command post, it's already broken. In Sacramento, California, today is April 16th, 2019, and it is now 7:11 in the PM. Thank you so much for joining us from all around the world of Warcrafts and beyond. My name is Pat Krane. I am your host for this already broken show, pre-broken. And of course, there's always at least one player with me. And tonight's lucky returning champion from Lagging Balls, it's Thyst. Hello, Thyst.
Thank you for that gorgeous, I was going to say interruption.
Yes.
Introduction. Yeah.
Yes.
No.
That's the one.
Definitely not the same thing.
No. That's all right. How are you?
You know what? I'm good. It feels a little bit like Christmas.
Why's that?
Well, because it's one of those blessed weeks where Blizzard is like, here, take these gifts, take them straight from our bosom.
Right.
Just, let us embrace you and give you things.
Right.
And while we're at it, we're going to tell you about other stuff that you're going to get in the future. So it's like second Christmas.
Ooh.
That's a really bad analogy.
Actually, it's like a bunch of Christmases in one, because it's not just so 8.2 hits the PTR today, and we had Jeremy Fiesel tell us all about it last week, and we'll get into all that stuff. We also have Storm Rising hit on Overwatch, so you can go play that, and it's pretty great. I actually brought up the old live stream today. And
I wanted to watch that. How did that go?
Well, it was I was waiting for the PTR to go up because the new build came through, and I was like, oh sweet, I'm gonna download that and get all ready for everything. And then our friend Randy, he posted up a thing that says, well, we're not ready yet. we're gonna be ready probably in a few hours. We'll update you as soon as it's up, but I just want to make sure that everybody who wants to get in can at least download the initial thing and get ready for this thing. So
Randy's so dependable. Honestly, he's one of the nicest people I know in my whole life.
He really is.
He really is.
He is. He's
a
nice.
Good guy. He's nice. He's very nice.
He's great.
He's so great.
So awesome and so helpful, especially giving us that heads up. Yes. After a couple of hours, I decided to hit the live stream. I played through the Overwatch thing, through Storm Rising, went through story mode, which was very cool, and then went through a bunch of times as random characters. You know how you do.
Of course. Just to see how it goes.
That's right. And of course, somebody has to play Bastion because somebody wants all of the kills of all time.
Was
ever.
That you? Was that somebody you?
At one point, yes, because it made sense.
Couldn't help yourself.
But it was the last pick, so I felt vindicated. I felt okay about it. It's not like I was racing to it. And then the PTR was ready, and I was like, oh, sweet. Went in there and started messing around. I'll tell you all about some of the things that I saw. I was gonna do a top 10 things I discovered in the PTR today. But I decided not to.
Why not?
Because everything I discovered broke the game and crashed the game client. Oh, so it was kind of like the same joke. It's like top one. Everything I did broke the game or broke my client. So
the end. Can we do a top one?
A top one. There you go, everybody.
Yeah,
top one. Whoop. Bing, bing, bing. Hey. Everything you do breaks the game. So, because I was probably in and out of the game for a couple of hours on the live stream, and then I decided that's enough. I've had enough of breaking the game. So playing that silly game of relogging.
Yeah, I like everybody who knows me knows I don't mess with WoW PTR just because being excited about WoW stuff is like one of the very last things that I actually do get excited about as an adult.
Okay.
And I don't like to spoil it for myself.
Sure.
Like anything else, even actual Christmas, it's like, cool, Christmas, all right, great. Right. But new WoW stuff, that gets the old heart pumping, Patrick.
Yep, it really does. So we'll go through what's available now on the PTR. If you do want to, check it out for yourself or not, doesn't really matter. Or not. You don't have to.
You don't have to do anything. No. Just because Pat tells you to do something doesn't mean you have to do it unless you're me. I'm contractually bound to do anything that he says.
Wow.
On a whim.
No, that's not true.
I signed it in blood at BlizzCon. I didn't know what I was signing.
That was weird because that wasn't even me. That was some other.
That wasn't you?
No, that was some other guy. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Keep happening? I've signed so many gilded contracts with my own blood.
You should really stop doing that.
I know. Those really come back to bite you in the butt.
They really do. They really do. Maybe we. By the way, what have you been up to the last week or so in various games?
Oh, well, sure. In WoW, I've been checking out the new updated Battlegrounds, just updated in looks wise. It's weird, but it's very beautiful.
It's not weird.
It's not weird, but it's different. It's like when you go to your Nana's house and she's just rearranged the furniture a little bit, and you're like, I know this is the same, but it's also different.
It just looks refreshed.
Yes, just a little bit refreshed. Yeah. My raid team is currently progging on heroic Mechagon.
Nice.
Sorry, Mechatorque. Yep. And it's we spent about 3 hours last week wiping on him, but like also progressing. So that's good. Like we're a progression raid.
Yeah.
We're having trouble with the IRL boss. We're missing a lot of people this tier. Right. And, a lot of our members are doing stuff like moving and traveling for work and that. So we're pugging in people and we're pugging in healers. And our great strength is having amazing healers. And we're missing a few of those. So we're struggling a little bit with this raid, but it'll be fine. Sure. In Overwatch, I'm still on a hamster kick. I think I'm getting better. I really love this hamster so much. And I spent about 4 hours on Saturday streaming Twitch Sings. That's available for everybody now.
That's right. It is available for everybody.
It is great. Oh, Pat, you and I got to do some duets.
You sent me one of the songs that you sang. It was beautiful.
Thank you.
You have a great voice.
Thanks.
Your enunciation was perfect.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you, Patrick.
You're welcome. By the way, the Hammy the Ham and Hamster Wrecking Ball is the best, the most fun in Total Mayhem.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I just do Tarzan basically, just swing from building to building and make my way around the map, and I don't even hit anybody. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that in regular mode as well.
No, well, you can't swing from building to building though, because it takes a little bit more time, right?
That's true. There's like a slight cooldown. Yeah.
So.
But yeah, no, you're totally right.
Right. All right. Maybe we should get on to the news, because there's a lot.
Well, you don't say.
There's so much. I think Wowhead is snapped. I think they snapped. I'm not sure. Like literally went crazy with so much data mining.
Yeah, no,
So
they put on their hard hats and they've been working them pickaxes deep in the data mines of the internet. I don't know.
Right. So we'll start with World of Warcraft as we always do.
Let's roll.
Thank you, Chen. I was going to use the other voice that I normally use for this open, but that might come around again. Who knows?
Maybe.
Maybe. So let's talk a little bit about what is live today, because we actually have some fun stuff alive. Sure.
It's alive.
It's alive. Crucible of Storms is now alive for normal and heroic. So that deserves a round of applause. And we kind of talked a little bit about it last week, but it's essentially two encounters. It's the Restless Cabal and then Unot.
I too am a Restless Cabal.
Yeah.
I'm stoked on this. I think we're gonna. My team's gonna try it this week. We haven't talked about it, but I think we're gonna try. And that's the nice thing with the mini raid, because you can say, "Hey guys, let's try this," and it doesn't sound like a massive time sink, you know?
No, I don't think that it's going to be, because I mean it's only two encounters,
exactly.
And I don't know what the trash is like, but it can't be any worse than the red. What was it? The red dragon thing. I don't know. Anyway,
the red
that I was talking about last week. Damn it! Now I can't remember anything. So moving on from that, I'll just move on. So that's available this week. Normal and heroic for that. So that's cool. There's also Arathi Blizzard if you guys are into playing AB and don't want to see anything.
Can I dote on that for a second?
Yes, you may.
Arathi Blizzard was the first PvP brawl to drop when PvP brawls became a thing in Legion. And it's kind of sentimental to me for that reason, but then, you know, it's the first of the cycle, and then it goes through the cycle of different brawls. And I'm always so excited when this comes back around, because it's the most beautiful, and I don't know, it's all of the other brawls, it's like completely different. It's completely different. Like, you're getting shot up in the air. There's like 40 people. There's more or less flags or whatever. But Arathi Blizzard is just Arathi as you know it, except in a blizzard. And
except you can't see anything from the lumber mill.
Exactly. And so it forces you to, you know, let me steal from Harry Potter for a second, be constantly vigilant, constant vigilance. Like, you have to patrol your area. You have to be like hyper aware, and it's so much fun and it's so gorgeous. And honestly, like, if you haven't tried it, if you hate BGs, if you don't like PvP, I promise you, just go in, die a bunch if you have to, if you must, but you have to experience it, because it is gorgeous.
It is pretty cool.
Beautiful.
It is pretty cool. And now with the new updated zone, you've got it's a new experience. So there you have it. And yes, thank you, Sage Time. Ruby Sanctum was what I was going for.
Oh yeah, and I went with
red, whatever, but you know,
Red
Ruby,
Dragon.
Red Dragon. You know, Ruby Sanctum.
You know, Red Dragon.
Yeah.
The ketchup boy. Yeah.
I understand. I'm dumb. It's fine. It's fine. I forget names all the time.
Yeah, and
who are you?
It's like what? Hi, I'm Thyst. Okay. It's been like 15 years of things that we have to remember, by the way. So
I know.
Just saying.
I know. It's you get a little lost in all of it, don't you?
Yeah. And like, the older you get, your brain gets worse, not better, right?
And that's what they tell me. I don't know.
Who's they? Your brain?
Pretty much.
The people in there?
All of the people in my head. All of the voices in my head tell me that. So we've got that stuff. There is a new WoW companion app. It's been updated for all of the Battle for Azshara stuff, and I looked at it earlier today. You can actually see what your world quests are for the next few days. You can manage your missions. You know, that war talent tree thing. You can do research and stuff like that on that. And now you can do WoW community and guild chat, and it does have an updated calendar as well.
It's basically what we've always wanted.
Except it's not a fishing app.
Right.
And I'll have more on that later.
Maybe. Okay.
Maybe. Because we come to the big news of the week, really, which started last week, Thursday. Right?
Right.
That is when Jeremy Fiesel, otherwise known as Muffinus, he took to the live stream on the Warcraft stream, of course, and talked to us about 8.2 Rise of Azshara. And for that, I will just say thank you. There is so much new stuff coming for 8.2, and he kind of broke it all down for us a little bit, and I'm going to just put the little card up on the screen so that we can just kind of follow along. We've got a couple of new zones. We've got a new raid, Azshara's Eternal Palace. We've got a new dungeon, the mega dungeon, really, which is Operation Mechagon, which is going to be...
It's got like, what, 8 bosses?
Yeah,
9 bosses?
I think it's 8 or 9, and it's mythic only to start. It will be when it's available, but then it'll break into 2 pieces, just kind of like whatchamacallit, last for Legion. I can't remember.
Red Dragon.
Yes, Red Dragon. That's the one. No, Karazhan. So just like that one broke up. Stop it. So there's all that stuff. Of course, we have new quests from Magni and the Heart of Azshara. We have the war campaign. We've got heritage armor stuff. We've got new islands. We've got heroic war fronts, which I kind of took. I didn't really go into it, but it's not available yet. But I did take a look at kind of how they were doing it. New epic battleground. New arena, which I didn't check out yet, but we'll get to that. You know, it's only day 1. And a bunch of other stuff. So it's pretty robust.
Yeah, and that live stream was about under 40 minutes long. Jeremy just ripped right through it.
Really did.
It was so satisfying because he had a picture or a slide or a video for every single piece. Mm-hmm. And he just gave the people what we wanted. Right. And it was very nice.
Right.
So if you haven't seen the video, it's available on Warcraft YouTube and the VOD for Warcraft Twitch, and it's definitely worth watching.
So we'll kind of go through this stuff. I mean, right now what we have on the PTR, here's what's being tested right now. We have the Heart of Azshara system update, which includes what they're calling essences. We'll get into that in just a second. There's the new zone, Mechagon, right now. New arena is available. Mount equipment is available as well to check out and kind of try out. The new island expeditions and Ashran. Right. So really the biggest things are the new arena, the new zone, Mechagon, the Heart of Azshara, and the mount equipment.
Right. Can we just start with mount equipment? Because that's so cool.
We can start with mount equipment. So
any excuse to customize anything in this game to your liking is very good, you know?
Sure. So I'm actually very angry.
Why?
About all of this. Well, not very angry. I'm just a little miffed, maybe. Maybe that's
Why
what
are you so angry, Pat?
Because if you listen to the end of last week's show, the very end, we were talking about what I was doing over the last, couple of weeks or whatever. I was working on my angler's reputation because I really thought, maybe I should just go ahead and get the Strider. Maybe I should just go ahead and get the Strider. And I was halfway through revered with the anglers. I was going to wait for time walking, but I decided not to. I was like, no, I'll just do this thing. And so I was fishing, for crying out loud. I was actually fishing.
Oh, Pat, I'm so sorry. I totally forgot.
In the game, I was fishing. And I'm not a fisher folk. I'm not one of those guys. I don't catch fish in. The last time I caught fish in video games was on an Atari, whatever. Back in the day.
An Atari Red Dragon?
Yes, an Atari Red Dragon. An old Atari system. I don't remember which number it was. But fishing derby. That was the last time that I fished, and I decided then that I hated fishing, and in video games especially. And so this is not really for me, but I did it. Damn it. I was like, okay, here we go. Halfway through Revered. Almost there. Almost home. Right? I had maybe a couple of days left. Couple of, whatever. He springs this crap on me. And I'm like, damn it. So
he was probably waiting specifically for you to start rep grinding.
So the deal with the mount equipment, for those guys that don't know, that haven't seen the video, and I'm going to put the thing back up on the screen, is that you will have essentially a gem slot where you can put in one of a number of different equipment items that will help you either with water walking, with not being dazed off your mount, slow fall, whatever, right?
Right.
So you will be able to do multiple things with all of your different mounts because they're just saying, you know what, mounts are mounts. Let's just have fun.
Yeah, and it's cool because everybody's got their main mount,
Sure.
The old trusty, the one that's, in that spot in your bar that's been in that same spot for 5 years now?
Yeah.
And you just, that's your mount.
Right. And of course there are always the specialized mounts like the expedition, the Grand Expedition Yak, the Sky Golem, the Water Strider.
Yeah.
Water Strider. And things like that that are used for other things. But for the most part, it's just mounts or mounts. You have your ground mounts or you have your flying mounts. And so now you can use mount equipment to go do things.
So this could be just a huge part of WoW. What if scribes or engineers can make these things? What if
they should be able to? Professions should be able to make certain equipments. So
totally. What if they're not all utility? What if they're cosmetic?
What?
What? So I'm just thinking. Okay, I'm just spitballing here, Pat. I'm just spitballing here, but. What if there's a thing that makes them sparkle? What if there's a thing that gives you a rainbow trail?
That could be cool.
Thing that, more sparkles. I don't know. I like particle effects. I want particle effects on my transmog. I want particle effects on my mount.
I got you.
Flames, ice, spark. Did I say sparkles?
You said something.
Rainbows.
You said
yeah, stuff like that. But this could be a whole thing. This could be.
That's interesting.
It could drop off a boss, something that makes your favorite mount change colors.
No.
Or something.
Rainbow out the butt as you're going along.
Yes.
That would be
farting rainbows.
That's right.
Yeah, but the sky's the limit for this. This could be so creative.
It could be.
And if you don't want to add utility to your favorite mount, you could just add particle effects or something, or I don't know, maybe you could have a what are these things called?
Which
mount equipment? You could get some mount equipment that gives your mount a personality and it whispers to you.
Oh, have it be a talking horse
mount. Yeah, or that.
Yeah. Have it talk to you like Xalatath.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Exactly.
You probably don't want that.
Sure. I don't know, but I don't know. I think that this is a really cool avenue. It really, it's like when they turned vanity pets into battle pets, and it just opened up so much in the game.
Right.
Just taking something that's already there and making it more customizable. So I think this is great. I'm really excited about it. I think it's probably the thing I'm most excited about, surprisingly.
And so Jeremy Fiesel did say at the end of it, right? He did say that those people that have gotten exalted with the anglers and have their water strider will get water walking essentially for free. which is nice. You get a free piece of equipment, plus it'll be available at the angler's vendor.
That is so fair, because it really is a grind. I never would have done it, but I read this Reddit post before Legion saying that if you didn't have a water strider, then you would fail Legion. And I was like, oh, I don't want to fail Legion. So.
Sure. The only problem is right now on the forums, and I think that this is fair, is what Jeremy said during the live stream. I believe he said this during the live stream, was that the water strider will, the effects of the water strider being able to walk on water for the water strider will be removed. So it'll be a ground mount. So whatever you throw in the equipment slot or in the equipment thing will work on the strider as well. I'm like, no, you have exceptions already. You have the Sky Golem, you have the Yak. And I tried out the Yak today, and the Yak does not like the mount equipment. So I almost drowned. Oh. And I'm like, well, then the water strider shouldn't do that either. The water strider should be a water strider. That's it. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Because what if I don't want water walking on all of my mounts? What if I want something else?
Yeah.
But I also need water walking occasionally.
Right.
And I already ground up that rep many moons ago.
I know.
And months.
It does feel like you're taking away something at that point. They're blizz, so just watch yourselves.
Yeah, I don't normally feel this way about Blizzard decisions, but this doesn't feel right, Pat.
Right.
It doesn't feel right.
Yeah, like, it doesn't feel super. So
no, maybe they'll reconsider.
I hope that they do. I hope that they take a look at it and say, you know what? It's one mount. If people are going to get this hurt about it, because it's all over the forums and people are really upset about it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about really upset, but they're slightly concerned about it, which means that on the forums it's all caps, right?
I'm slightly concerned about that.
I am slightly concerned about that. Let me tell you about it in all caps. Here we go.
1, I'm upset. Lick finger. 2, why? 3, no.
Right.
Etc.
Exactly. So, yeah. but it is very nice to actually have these kind of options being thrown at us, and I just want the water strider to be a water strider, and that's all.
I do too.
All right, let's move on to some other things that we have to talk about as it relates to patch 8.2. Let's talk about the Heart of Azshara.
Okay.
This is going to be the major thing that we roll through again. And it all starts with a quest. We'll go and we will help Magni and Mother. And trying to heal Azeroth as you do.
Again.
Yeah, more. And you go in and you do it's actually a series of quests, but I think it'll only do one at a time as you level up your neck piece, right?
Yes.
You're still going to have to level it up, and you're still going to have the Azerite armor that we have now, but you'll only need level 50 to unlock everything. Then after that, it's just unlocking these new things, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's how I understand it.
It's
yes.
very confusing.
Yeah, there's something about rebuilding the heart chamber, and then there's a heart forge.
Yeah,
it all sounds very romantic, honestly. You socket the Heart of Azshara into the forge.
Maybe we should play some music with that.
Please.
We'll go into the heart forge, and we'll go. I don't know. What are we doing?
So. Let me tell you, we socket the Heart of Azshara into the forge. It absorbs the essences and gives you new artifact level abilities. It's got a major slot and 2 minor slots. You have so many slots to slide your essences into, Pat.
All right, we're done. Yes. So there will be all these essences. There will be a major essence, and then there will be a couple of minor essences that you can plug into.
Yeah, but listen, if your essence is minor, it's still good. Don't let anyone tell you it's not as good as a major essence. Okay,
it's still fine. It'll still work for you.
It will. It's how you use it.
Right. Well, and you only get one major one.
Yeah, and
I mean, so there's that as well. But so all of the essences were data mined by Wowhead, of course. I don't think that's a big shock. No. And I don't really want to run through them all, but they are available for depending on what role you are. Some of them it won't matter, but the other ones will depend on what role you play or what role you can play on your character, right?
Cool. So damage for me.
Right. Damage, or damage. You won't be able to do the healing ones or the tanking ones.
I'm a mage. Yeah.
So, but then, like for me, I can get them all on my druid. It doesn't matter. But
that sounds like way too much responsibility.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. But once you learn them, it'll work kind of like talents. So you have to go through a thing to actually learn the essence. And then once it's in your repertoire, you can just switch them out at will at a place of rest or with the tome or, whatever.
Hey, that sounds good to me, More customization, more abilities, more things.
I think it could be fun. And I see the list of essences data mined by Wowhead, but at the same time, I don't know what that means. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know. On paper, it's like, okay, I see it, but it's just one of those things that you have to go and do.
Yeah, and it really is kind of information overload today.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's one thing to watch Jeremy and to listen to him and see the slides and get excited about things to come, but then, like, even he himself, didn't he say something about like the impending data mining and stuff?
Probably.
He said he literally acknowledged it in the stream. And, of course, you get on Twitter today and there's pictures of mounts and pictures of NPCs and all this info. Like I saw stuff about new titles that looked pretty cool. And I don't necessarily want to see all these things, but I can't help looking at it.
Right.
And it's too much, it's too much. And that's a great problem to have.
It is. I mean, I'll put this card up again with all the new features for Rise of Azshara coming in. There are so many new things that the font type is like, we're at it like an 8, probably. Something like that. I know.
Like a 7.5?
I know. Well, let's not get crazy.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. I'll tone it down.
It's small type, though. It's not large type. So that's kind of one of those things. And there's so much new stuff. I was looking at some of the mounts.
Okay, which was your favorite?
Well, it's the wheel. Everybody knows it's the mecha wheel.
Oh.
It's got to be the mecha wheel. There are other ones out there. There's a manta ray. There's a bunch of mechanical things.
Yeah.
Because you got Mechagon coming up, so there's going to be all sorts of mecha mounts.
But Pat, didn't you see the crab?
There is the crab. How do you get the crab?
The crab. I have no idea, but I just know if I don't get it, I'm going to be really disappointed in myself.
The way that you get the wheel, the mecha wheel?
How?
By doing everything. And you have to do like everything. No. You have to be a completionist in Mechagon.
Oh no!
I was looking at the requirements. It's pretty insane.
No wonder it's so cool.
It'll be like the Water Strider for me. I'll get it 6 years later.
Yeah, exactly. And just watch. The crab mount will be a fishing mount. Need to fish it up.
Oh.
Probably. I mean, I don't know yet. I haven't looked, but I really like that crab mount. Speaks to me on a crustacean level.
It's nice. I like the wheel. I'm all about the wheel. Just the one wheel. That looks really cool. Either way, there's, no matter what you like, there's something for you. There's actually more than just that. I mean, I think there are like 4 or 5 new mounts. Yeah,
well, it's Jeremy, right? Like he loves mounts and pets.
Yeah. There's
And
lots
I
of
love
pets
that.
and all that kind of stuff too. So really, really cool. I actually went through the Mechagon unlock intro today in between crashes of the game. That was pretty awesome. And from the Alliance standpoint, so I'll just kind of give you a little clue as to what you will end up doing, because it's kind of neat. You actually meet up with a couple that we from before the storm that were doing things with mechanical things. You know, if you've read the book, you know what I'm talking about.
I'm picking up what you're putting down, Patrick.
It's a smaller couple. They're short.
Yes, very small.
Yeah. So we meet
so
up.
they are alive then. Interesting.
Yes, they are. And we met up with them actually to do a what was it? In the last
Red Dragon.
What's that? Yes, Red Dragon. Red Dragon. We actually met up with them in 815, in the beginning of 815, to do a quest, I believe. But it was short. It was really short, and nobody knew what was going on with it. You were hanging by a mechanical bird and flying through the air, and it was really weird. You're like, what's going on?
Hanging by a mechanical bird.
Yeah.
Our emotions there, Pat.
You're welcome.
For all those of you listening at home.
Yes.
He's showing off the guns, you guys. He can't help himself.
I can't. But so we kind of saw them a little bit, and then they went away. But now they're back, and now we're going to go on an adventure with them out to Mechagon and go check it out. And the story is pretty cute, kind of weird and funny, as you might expect from something like that. So.
Hey, that's fair.
So then you go to Mechagon. Mechagon looks like it looks very gnomish. There are gears all over the place, piles of gears, lots of things it's actually pretty beautiful in all of its messiness.
Mechagon is it just Alliance, or is it like, can I go visit?
No, you can go visit. You will go visit. Both sides will go visit. And actually there's a point in the intro questing where you meet up with the other side, and the prince talks to you. The Prince of Mechagon talks to you guys about what's expected, because he says, I don't expect, and he uses a voice. So he says, I don't expect you guys to like each other, but I do expect you to get along while you're here.
Oh my God. Why are you so good at that? It's creepy.
Gnomes and goblins. I can do gnomes and goblins. That's about it.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
You could probably do some really weird stuff with that talent. We'll discuss that later.
All right. Sounds good. We'll pick it up after the show.
Yeah.
But it's pretty neat. And I did some of the intro questing, and it's really hard to tell exactly what's going on because there were so many people just crowding the zone.
Oh yeah, of course.
You kill everything, but you're not really killing anything. You're just kind of throwing spells out and hoping that it hits whatever it's supposed to hit.
That's my whole WoW career as a range DPS. Sure. I'm like, well, I hope this is working.
Sure. And I only just started in the zone, so I'm sure that I'll have more next week. Once I can.
Yeah, this is the kind of stuff that really only gets more clear as time goes on, and everybody's just kind of figuring everything out right now.
But it looks pretty cool, and it's actually a pretty big island too. So it's nice.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that it's big. I know we're also getting Nazdatar and stuff like that. Like 2 new zones, new dungeon,
all that
two
stuff.
New islands,
right?
Warfront, new arena map.
So the Warfront thing, the heroic Warfront, Battle of the Stromguard is going to be go to heroic as well. And
Stromguard.
Basically, what it is, when you click on the table, and it says join battle now or whatever. Yeah. There's going to be a secondary button, and it'll say join heroic or something like that. And I think you have to be a part of a group already to do that.
I think that's what I remember.
Because that's what the tooltip said. It said, you are not a part of a group. You cannot join.
Oh.
And I went, okay. All right.
Okay, because all I know about it is that there's going to be a dramatic difference between this and like a raid boss and the missions to defend multiple fronts. So it's still a war front, but on steroids, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it would have to be, and so my guess is that they would send out more of those patrols or those small groups of the opposite faction to come take down your stuff, and you might have to actually camp on some of those nodes to make sure that they're
fine
not
with me.
taken again.
That is fine with me.
Yeah, it's just more like PvP, and less like tower defense or something like that. So yeah.
And speaking of PvP, so we're getting a new arena map called the Robodrome.
Yes.
I keep calling it Robodome. That's not correct, but it sounds correct.
It's fair enough. Right.
Fair enough. And then we're getting Azshara back finally. It's going to be one of those epic battlegrounds.
Were you a big fan of Azshara when it was new?
No. I wasn't PvPing in WoD.
Okay.
So I was not a big fan of it because every time I would fly over it, I would get booted.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, no, I'm really, really looking forward to having it back. I didn't spend enough time in there. I'd like to get to know it, become friends with it, master it, go in there, kick some butt. It'd be nice.
Yeah, I did it a few times, and I was always like, nah, I'm just going to do whatever they say in the chat.
Thank you for
go
being
here,
that kind of person.
Says the one person in chat. Okay, I'll go over there. That's fine.
Yeah.
So that's coming up. Some of the things that are not being tested yet that have been data mined. Should we go into that a little bit?
I don't know, man. That sounds dangerous.
So now we're gonna get into spoiler territory, like possibly some largish spoilers.
Big spoilers, Pat.
Should I?
Big ones.
Here, I'll do the. You've been warned. All right.
That's such a lame.
I know. It really is. I have a. Right. Exactly. I could do that one. Whatever.
Sure.
That's also lame. But now we're going to actually get into some spoilery content. So if you do not like spoilers, please move ahead exactly 2 minutes and you'll catch the most important spoiler. Okay.
2 minutes?
No, not really. So here are some things that we've got coming up on the PTR that they haven't tested yet, and we'll start with a war campaign. So the war campaign in 8.2 is we're going to have essentially a scenario that features Bane Bloodhoof, where we try to save him. And by we, I don't mean everyone. I don't think I mean everyone.
I think it's a little too early to tell, but
right. It says every one of them on the data mining says save Bane. Essentially, is the gist of the thing, but I don't think that that's necessarily true because of this little fun fact. It's not just one scenario, because there's Alliance and Horde, right?
Right.
So there's Alliance and Horde, so there's going to be 2 scenarios. But there's not going to be 2 scenarios because we have Alliance and we have Horde. We have Horde loyalists, and then we have the loyalists to Sylvanas, right?
Yep.
So there's going to be 3. There's going to be 3 versions of this scenario, each with a different little angle on the whole thing.
So I'm wondering how do we know what the outcome is? This is kind of important.
Well,
we can see in the picture Bane Bloodhoof chained up underneath Orgrimmar.
Yeah.
Chained, Pat.
Chained up, and he's got it looks pretty grim for him.
I mean, depending on how you feel about seeing people chained up.
I guess that's true. But there it is, right there. We also have another little spoiler to this thing because I guess as a part of this war campaign, we have Thrall. We have a new Thrall model.
Can I just say,
Yeah.
I called it. I called it so hard. I called it at BlizzCon when I saw Metzen standing there with Randy talking to Scott. I called it. I was like, Thrall is coming back. I don't have to worry about anything anymore. It's fine.
Well, and everybody was kind of like,
fine.
Yeah, he should be coming back. He should be coming back. And so now he's dropped the Mardi Gras beads, and he has.
Don't talk about the Pete. Don't.
He has a new model where it's like fur shoulders, and he's kind of more kickback, and
it's a very it's a nice nod to the Frostwolf clan, which I appreciate. I like that.
Right.
I also like his big furry butt.
Uh-oh. Yes, he does have a big furry butt, and he has big furry shoulders. It must be nice to
sit on. But yeah, no, I honestly, I could not be happier. As a Horde loyalist, I'm not afraid anymore. Like I was a little worried. I know Saurfang is out there trying to fix things, but the only person that can fix everything, as we've seen, is Thrall.
Well, and Saurfang is a part of it, I think, and
sure.
Sounds like it's going to be kind of like a star-studded event.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. And so Alliance will have one piece of this scenario, or will have a scenario to themselves, essentially. And then if you sided with Sylvanas during your questing, you'll have another angle of it. And if you sided with Saurfang before, you will have another side of it. But the goal is to save Bane. So I'm not sure exactly if the Sylvanas folk will want to save Bane or not.
Right.
Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll be like, no, we want to kill him because we like Sylvanas.
Hey,
she's our war chief. So.
Right. And all of that is very tough to deal with and confusing and conflicting. And as much as I don't like the idea of anything happening to Bane at all, I love the idea of like a another split quest plus another one for Alliance. That really challenges just exactly how you feel about your faction and your leader. And I don't know. It's so immersive and so personal that I love the feeling of being afraid. I love the feeling of, looking at my fellow Horde members and being like, what are you doing? Like, who are you? Like, what are you going to do? I love that feeling because, all of this split three ways and like Horde down the middle kind of stuff, like that's new. And it's not new outside of the game, but in the game it is. And I love that we get the option to just, I don't know, follow our hearts, for lack of a better phrase, I guess.
Absolutely. And if you get a cool little scenario out of the deal, that's awesome. And or at least a different angle of it. That's pretty great. And apparently they're planning on doing some more things for the Alliance side as well. So Alliance members don't get too upset because, stuff is going to happen.
Yeah, Alliance members might have different feelings on things as well.
Sure.
Wouldn't it be cool if, depending on which path you chose or which quest you choose, you get a title?
Ooh.
So you can always sort of differentiate yourself, like follower of Saurfang or follower.
I would think it would be. I would think it would be like Thyst the Ruiner. Or
they already call me that.
or on the flip side of it, if you were on the other side of things, and I don't know which side is which, it would be Thyst the Ruined.
I mean, I'm probably both at this point.
Sure. And then if you get both, you get another title for that. I don't know.
Yeah, Thyst, who has both. And people are like, both what? And I'm like, never you mind.
Yeah. Just keep your eyes forward, pal. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's the new Bane scenario that we don't really know too much about yet. I mean, okay, let's put it this way. Wowhead and MMO Champion and places like that probably know quite a bit about this. I don't. I'm doing that on purpose because number one, I don't want to spoil it for everybody else. And number two, I don't really want to spoil it for myself either. I want to go in there and I want to have fresh eyes and go, okay, here we go. Here's the thing. Here's what's going to happen. I don't want to know I don't want to know too much.
No,
However, I don't mind spoiling little things.
I know it's hard because you can't go in there and try to look for little things because you're going to find the big things. Like if you're looking for trouble, you're going to find trouble.
Right.
That's just the internet. That's the way it works.
I know that some people, especially for, I think this was mainly for Game of Thrones, which was this last weekend. But I saw so many tweets of people talking about spoilers and all this other stuff. And, people were muting certain hashtags or certain keywords out of their Twitter feed. And I know that was happening for Game of Thrones. I don't know if that was happening necessarily for Rise of Azshara, but maybe it should have been. Because the thrall thing is kind of one of those things where you go, what?
Yeah, that's a whole wrench into the, what's the expression? Wrench in the, where does the wrench go?
Into the, I don't know.
It just throws a wrench into things. I don't know. But you're right.
Works.
I was just scrolling through Twitter as I do today, and I saw that model of Thrall, and I was at the office, and I just, you know when you like, and then you swallow your own saliva, and then you start choking on your own saliva because you're an inadequate human being who can't deal with their own mucus. That was me.
Yeah.
Like I literally choked on my own saliva, and then I was actively avoiding all of this, but
I would have probably drank some water after that.
Listen. Some of us aren't that smart in the moment, okay? I haven't been around for as long as you have. I'm not as wise.
Oh, that's how we're playing it. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. The other thing that hasn't been tested yet at all, it's not even close to being tested because Nazjatar is not a thing yet on the PTR. We're not quite there yet. But the Dungeon Journal is available. The Dungeon Journal is available. And this has been the talk of things. As we've heard from various content creators that actually went to Blizzard HQ this last week, video creators. They're video creators.
Yes, they create stuff with videos.
Yes, not the audio folk. The audio folk don't get jack. We no, it's fine. I'm not bitter. I'm a little bitter because I've been there before and it was really cool. It was a lot of fun. So I know what I'm missing out on. So a bunch of creators went out there over this last week and they had questions. And I think Ian Hazakostas mentioned that by the end of Azshara's Eternal Palace, which is the raid in 8.2, you will know who the final boss is of the expansion. If you look to the and by the way, this is going to be a spoiler with my lame my lame alarm.
Sounds like a child's like police car that they got from the dollar store.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But if you look to the journal for the Queen Azshara fight, because you will be fighting her as the last boss of 8.2, right? The journal says this: Queen Azshara will use all of the forces at her command to disable the ancient wards keeping you alive. So there are ancient wards keeping you alive while yeah, it is very nice. While attempting to override the Titan device keeping N'Zoth imprisoned.
Oh!
Yes. Not like it's a huge surprise. I mean, because Crucible of Storm is like minions of N'Zoth, right? I mean, they're essentially... Come on.
Yeah, like he's the mob boss of the Titan, you know? Like he's the big kahuna. Right. He's the giant fish. No, we already knew that, but it's nice to see it, you know. When you said Dungeon Journal, I was like, all I was thinking, because I'm an idiot, was, oh, so we get to see the new transmog.
That stuff is not available yet.
Oh no!
As far as what I could see, anyway. Maybe and PTR is always evolving and all that kind of stuff. But as of right now, there's not a lot there. There's not like any boss models or anything like that. You can't see what's actually happening. All you can do is read about it. And I thought it was just very interesting what Queen Azshara will be doing during that fight. She's going to try to kill you while freeing N'Zoth.
And she's going to use all the power at her disposal. She's going to go full Aquaman.
Pretty
she's
much.
Going to call all the fish, Pat.
Pretty much. And that's
going to be a veritable aquarium of fish.
And that raid is going to be like a 8-9 boss raid with one of them being underwater. And I heard tale that the underwater part really isn't like, it's not like 3D fighting or anything like that.
It'll be like the underwater level of Super Mario.
Kinda.
Where you have to dodge jellyfish, or were they squid? Do you remember the song?
No.
I could sing it for you if you want.
Maybe later. But okay. Basically, you just go from platform to platform and fight the thing.
Well, that's cool.
It's not too bad. It's just you're in the water fighting. It's not a big thing. So
probably not on your water strider.
Yeah. Well, or maybe. Who knows? Because the water strider doesn't work on water right now on the PTR. So there's that.
Hey, does this mean that you can give you could potentially give that boat mount, the new one, you could give that water walking? Because everybody was upset that boat mount floats on land but sinks in the water.
Oh.
It's like the island of misfit toys, Pat.
It really is. So yeah, I would assume that would be the case.
Probably. That solves everything.
That really does. Everything is fixed in WoW. And we'll be talking more about all of this stuff for 8.2 as we move forward, as we find out more about it. But there is a lot to go through. So, yeah, I mean, this is
fodder for weeks.
If you wanted like say 150 new Bellular videos, you've got them. They're on their way. They're on their way to you right now. And Wowhead articles. I mean, I think today already there have been like 15 postings of different articles from Wowhead. Just on all the stuff from 8.2.
I'm excited for the weeks to come because, every week somebody's going to find something that's amazing.
Yeah.
And share it with everybody. And even people like me who are actively avoiding spoilers will see it and it'll be fine because it'll be so cool. And I'm really looking forward to that. God, I love WoW.
It's great.
Blizz.
It's pretty great. And right now it does feel kind of, it feels like it's my birthday. It's not really Christmas. Christmas is more BlizzCon, right? But this is like big birthday. Big birthday surprise.
I think it's maybe the opposite for me.
It's just nice. That's all I know. So let's move on to a different game. Let's move on to Overwatch.
Oh, this is my jam.
That's right. Because we have a new thing over in Overwatch, which is Storm Rising. Yeah! So, Storm Rising, first of all, we have a Chase the Truth cinematic, which is pretty great. It sets you up perfectly for the new mission, the new PvE mission. Yes, is there something that you wanted to say?
It's so cool.
But they use a lot of it in the game as well. I mean, they use a lot of the different shots in the actual mission part. If you're playing the story part of the mission, it's how.
Are we going to spoil this too? Are we going to spoil this?
Why don't you just set it up?
Okay, so it's amazing. Okay, so the only thing that I'm a little upset about personally is the teaser that came out yesterday for the co-op mission has Tracer on a motorcycle. And so naturally I'm thinking, awesome, I get to play as Tracer on a motorcycle. No, you get to see Tracer on a motorcycle, but and that's fine because like watching her on the motorcycle is just as interesting.
Yeah,
maybe, I'm not sure. Anyway, so she's like zooming down the street. She's after Maximilian. She's trying to get him. she's not catching him. So Mercy, she like zooms past. She does this like blinding light flash like Pokemon move. And then Winston pops down and he's like electrifying everybody. And then Genji starts taking out cars with his katana. And then he takes out 2 more with his shuriken. And like he doesn't even look at the cars he's exploding. He doesn't care.
No, he doesn't. He looks away and they just blow up. And then he grabs Mercy and flies away right as a car's about to crash on his head.
She swoops right in.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. It's so good. It's
every action film you've ever loved.
Yes,
right
with characters that you love.
Absolutely.
Like OG Overwatch characters. And this is set 6 years ago from like where we are right now in the Overwatch universe.
Right.
And so
Mercy's entrance is amazing too. Mercy's entrance is really, really great.
Oh yeah. It's like when was the last time we saw Mercy do anything? You know, like she hasn't really been in any cinematics.
Yeah.
Like the very, 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 very first one where just kind of introducing Overwatch itself. You see her like, you know, ascend and like grab that orphan out of the rubble. That's it.
Right.
But yeah, no, it was.
But now she's playing kind of badass role, which is really great. It's nice to see.
Yeah, it's good to see her like that after everything she's been through. Right. After all the nerfs and buffs and nerfs. Yep. More nerfs.
And so basically what you do during the PvE mission is you try to clear out all of the places of all of the minions trying to get to Maximilian, right? So
we got lots of Omnic dudes that you have to take out, and then occasionally there'll be a big Omnic dude, a heavy artillery dude, and then we've got snipers like from last year. And you take those out as well. And I've only done it once because I only had time to do it once when I got home. But I did it on the easiest difficulty, and it was quite easy.
Yep.
But I hear that it does ramp up a lot. So you follow Maximilian through a warehouse, down a road with a payload, and then you reach this like house fortress on the cliff, and it is so cool. Big spoilers, but the coolest thing to me about this whole thing is once you go through the warehouse, you come out on the other side and there's a hurricane going on, and it is absolutely gorgeous. The weather in Overwatch is so beautiful. And I was playing Tracer, and I kind of sort of, if you go into the fortress with your payload and you go to the right, and there's like a little alcove, and then you go through it and you're on this big cliff looking over the waves in a hurricane. It is absolutely gorgeous. And I'm totally missing the co-op. Like I'm not like my alt is flashing and I'm just like, give me a second. This is gorgeous. It was so beautiful.
Well, and so big hats off to the visual effects guys, but also big hats off to the sound guys too, because as soon as you step out into that storm, you're met with this thunderclap that is just so cool and so three-dimensional. And if you're wearing your headphones, you are gonna just love it. It really throws you into the environment, and they did such a beautiful job at that. It's so.
It's Overwatch on another level, really.
It really is.
And
there was a ton of story along the way. It's not just blasting bad guys. If you're in story mode, there are a number of places where you are met with story and some funny things and happen along the way.
Lots of dialogue between the 4 heroes. That some of it's really illuminating. Like some of it, is a lot of canon. There's a lot of discussion, harkening back to things, and them talking about their future with Overwatch and how they kind of get this sense of impending doom about it, which is really cool. So, spoilers again. They catch Maximilian in another cutscene.
Mm-hmm.
They don't kill him.
Nope.
They want him to get to Doomfist because he knows where Doomfist is. And at that point, they were trying to capture Doomfist. And so it cuts again to Anubis. Doomfist is talking to somebody, and then you see who he's talking to, and it's this Omnic that we've never seen before. I saw him, and at my last job, I had to know all the Overwatch lore and keep up to date with it and stuff. And that included a lot of, potential new heroes. And I felt dumb. Like, I was like, who is this guy? I don't know.
Right.
And the internet doesn't know either. So that made me feel good. There is
Nice.
another character that's kind of introduced, Sojourn. She's talking to the 4 heroes.
She's the
telling them what
commander.
to do. Yeah.
The commander of the mission. So she's like via remote. She's talking to the guys. So,
yeah. Like the first uprising where Soldier was talking to the other heroes via the intercom system. But we've seen her before. She was, in the Winston cinematic where he's flipping through all of the Overwatch members on his screen. She's there.
Okay.
And she was somewhere else. I forget, but we've seen her face before at least.
Okay.
But this dude talking to Doomfist at the end, we have no idea. Nobody knows.
No idea.
It's completely new.
Right. So that's cool. It kind of opens up some possibilities for some new characters along the way that we might get to know, and that's always fun. And it's a really good mission to go through on story mode first, at least, and then after that, it's also kind of interesting to go through. You can go through on all heroes as well, where you can select whoever you want. Bastion. Somebody has to take him.
That's so cheap, Pat.
Yeah, no, but somebody has to take him. Doesn't have to be me, but somebody has to.
I feel like you think it should be you.
The interesting part that I found during the All Heroes deal was who became the voice of the mission, because out of the 4 heroes, there will be at least one hero that will be speaking throughout the entire mission.
Right.
And I went through it a couple of times. One time it was Torbjorn, which I thought was kind of cool.
Interesting.
Another time was Lucio, which I also thought was interesting. And I'm not sure if that depends on where they were, what realm they were fighting in 6 years ago or whatever.
So,
if they were like Blackwatch, maybe they aren't talking. Or
sure.
if they're
So are you telling me that on All Heroes mode, some of the heroes will narrate through?
Kind of, yeah. They'll kind of lead you through. So there's new dialogue for random heroes that we don't know about yet. So we're gonna have to go through on every hero to figure out who has all of these new. It's basically the same sentiment. It's just trying to lead you through the scenario a little bit, right? That's amazing. Because they could just drop little tidbits of lore that we don't know about. And they're not really dropping lore. They're just dropping. It's basically just trying to lead you through it. So it's not like a big, huge deal. It's just. I mean, it's interesting to see who's talking. But no, you're right, and like I really appreciate that, because that's like a whole other. That's bringing the voice actor in to do this. Like, that's a big deal. I love that. It's awesome. Yeah, it's awesome. So we got 9 new skins. Which one do you like best, Patrick? I haven't really looked at them all, so I don't want to. There are some cool ones though. I will. I will say that. Well, how about you? Do you have a favorite? I love the new Wrecking Ball, obviously, because he's got little sunglasses. Right. But I think the thing that wins this year is Wrecking Ball's highlight intro. They did one. The shocked groundhog meme. Yeah. It's just this little prairie dog, and he looks behind him and he's like, dun dun dun. Yep. They did that with the music and everything, except it's with Hammond. And if you have his new skin with his little sunglasses equipped, they fall off. Yeah. When he's freaking out. Nice. It's just, I logged on today when I got home. I bought that. I bought the new skin. I did the co-op, and then I logged off to get ready for the show. Because I'm not waiting for that to drop. Like that, I needed that now, today. Yep. You do. I did. I got it. Well, and again, we'll have more next week, probably on this stuff or what if more gets,
Yeah, we are right on the cusp of everything right now.
We are. So maybe we should talk some esports real quick and get the heck out of here. So let's talk some esports. There we go. First up, let's talk about Overwatch League. Overwatch League is very Overwatchy.
Yeah.
That's
Can't
part of
argue
it.
with that.
That's part of it. And I think that now we can kind of see where these teams are going a little bit.
Yeah. Can I just
Sure.
you know that I love my Dallas Fuel and my LA Gladiators. We got 4 no's on last Saturday. No problemo. My Fuel took out Toronto. Okay. I mean, yeah, it hurts a little bit because I'm Canadian, but whatever. It's fine. And then the next day, Fuel takes out Paris. Oh, and then we had a battle for LA and my Gladiators took it again. It was a good weekend for old Thyst here. Ooh.
Well,
it was good.
And you have teams like the Excelsior and the Shock and the Titans that are really showing up. They've been showing up all season long, still showing up.
Yes. I think Nixel is back in top spot. Are they not? I think that they are.
Yeah.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
And Glads are in second place. Ooh.
Right.
Ooh.
And that's pretty cool. It's nice to see the Glads coming along very nicely like that. And it's also kind of weird seeing Shanghai Dragons kind of in the middle of everything.
I mean, it's definitely weird, but
I mean, after last year where they were dead last, no wins whatsoever, it's nice to see them have something on the board. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no, I totally agree.
And then you're seeing teams like, the Charge, Justice, the Mayhem, even the Defiant, all kind of like falling down a little bit. The Mayhem have always been kind of falling down, and the Justice have always been kind of falling down.
Mayhem is the only team that it hasn't really shown any growth since last year, honestly.
Right. And Soul Dynasty is actually down there too, which is kind of surprising to me.
I mean, Soul Dynasty got hyped so much at the beginning of the first year of Overwatch, and then it just, that is the sound of dissent.
Right. But, the thing that my one gripe with everything right now is that when I see a matchup, there are very few that I'm like going, oh, that could be really cool. I'm not saying that it won't be. There are some really great fights in all of these matches. And especially if you're watching one of the top tier teams, one of those top, 6-8 teams, there's going to be some amazing gameplay. And there are also some amazing teams that have weird comps like the Charge that do strange things because that's the way their team does it. Like they don't have the players to do certain comps like the Goats comp or whatever.
Oh, that whole thing.
Yeah, that whole thing. So it's nice to see them try some stuff, but then they get slammed anyway for it.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's just.
But there's lots of 4-0s. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No. Yeah. And I understand what you're saying. It's like it's cool that it's a 4-0. It's nice to see these big teams throwing their weight around and stuff. But at the same time, waiting for stage playoffs for a good match is kind of lame. But at the same time, you never know. Sometimes teams you never expect pull off an amazing game, and it's almost worth having like no expectations up until that point because you're so surprised. Because everybody loves an underdog, Sure.
Well, and I think especially when it comes to those teams that are in the middle, that's where you get a lot more exciting matches. Anyway. Yeah. But the problem is that it's not like a big huge team, so you're not like really rooting for one side or the other. You're not rooting for the underdog, or you're not rooting for the the top dog. You're just kind of like, oh yeah, go team. Which is fine. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I like it. But it's just with all those 4-0s, it's making it a little predictable.
Yes, but I don't know. I want to agree with you, but there's just been so many times in Overwatch League history where teams pull the wool over eyes. There's a bamboozle. Sure. It changes up at the drop of a hat, at the drop of a new character, a new meta, a new map, a new player, or whatever.
Right. Well,
coach.
So there, as soon as there's the first big upset for stage 2, I'll take back everything. I'll be like, okay. All right, that's fair. I think
that's totally fair.
So that's Overwatch League. Anything you're really looking forward to in the next week or whatever?
Gee, I wonder.
Probably LA Glads and Dallas Fuel.
Yeah, so Dallas.
Those guys.
Dallas is up against the Titans on Friday. I don't know. Their Titans are such a strong team. I would be worried for anybody up against them right now, but I have faith. I love watching Dallas right now specifically because they just added Note from Boston Uprising. I love Note, not just because he's Canadian, but also because he's a diva main, and I've just always loved his play style of watching him, and I'm so glad that he's on Fuel now. And I think that he must have some kind of special relationship with Jane just because of Team Canada. And I don't know. To me, it seems like whenever the teams have special relationships with each other or the coaching staff or whatever, that always translates into better play.
That makes sense. I mean, if you have a dynamic already with your coaching staff or vice versa with your players
or your teammates,
then of course it's going to go better. I think that we've seen it where teams in transition, especially with language issues or whatever, you see that happen and it takes a minute to get everybody familiar with everybody else and so you see some missteps and stuff like that. But if you find out there's a good chemistry situation, then awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Yeah. And then other than Overwatch League, and once again, it starts Thursday and goes through Sunday. As per usual, we're in week 3 now. Week 3 of stage 2.
Yes. How time flies.
So another few weeks of stage 2 going on until we kind of get a better picture of what's going on for the stage finals.
Yes, and of course on week 4 is the Dallas Fuel home stand. It's the first away game in Overwatch League history. I have tickets, but my trip has been canceled, Pat.
Oh no. What happened?
It was a work thing. We're too busy to go now.
All right.
God.
All right.
That's a whole other thing. But
it's a shame.
It's sold out. It completely sold out.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing, and it culminates on Sunday, April 28th, in the battle for Texas.
Oh, nice.
Outlaws. Oh, can you imagine? I was looking so forward to being there for that. Like, it would have been so cool. It's going to be amazing. And I mean, I want Dallas to win, obviously, because it's my favorite team, but I really hope that, Houston's been having kind of an iffy time this stage. Yeah,
a little bit.
Season. And I hope that they give Fuel a run for their money for the sake of a good show. But obviously, I hope Fuel wins.
Right. But that's not this week. That's next week. That's a week and a half away.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk a little bit about MDI. Now, MDI, we had the Western Cup number 2. Western Cup means that it's NA,
Everybody
EU,
was
and
wearing
Latin
cowboy
America.
hats.
Yes, everybody was wearing cowboy hats. And we actually saw some cool stuff. We saw Method EU go up against Method NA. Method NA actually took that match.
Yeah.
So, yay! More Method. It was just Method madness.
I mean, what can you say? Method is good. They show up. They play.
And those are the 2 best teams in the Western division so far.
Yeah,
so
I'm kind of eligible gamer dads just for the name alone, honestly. Like, it's so cute.
Yes. They only have 40
Girl,
points
Dad.
though, so I mean,
Well, they probably, how dads are with Overwatch. I mean, World of Warcraft. It's like I could play, until my kid wakes up or my kid's finished at soccer practice or whatever. And if they're eligible, that says that they're probably single,
right? Which
means they're taking care of kids. Pat, like, what do you expect?
I'm not expecting anything. So
good.
So there you have it.
But they are eligible.
Yeah, but then you also have 40K and Team Palooka and Abracadabra or some of the other favorite teams there.
Abracadabra, yes. Abracadabra's in third spot.
By the way, Abracadabra, those guys came up with a very clever name that the commentators had to say over and over again and get familiar with. And it was so fun that first time around because they couldn't say it fast.
Sometimes it just comes out as Abracadabra.
And same thing with Team Palooka.
Yeah.
So nobody knew how to say it. I think
honestly, the names are one of the coolest things about. No, because I don't want to say that, but just the names and how quirky some of them are.
Yeah.
Really speaks to how quirky the MDI is as a whole, which makes it the most endearing esport to me. Just because like the hosts and the casters and the analysts and everybody on camera, they have this. It's always just sort of been not a free for all, but it's kind of understood that you can be a little bit quirky, you can be a little bit funny, you can all of the casters have massive chemistry.
Yep.
And it makes it so enjoyable because the MDI, it goes down easy. It goes down smooth. It's one of those esports where you can just kick back, relax, watch, and understand easily and enjoy it. Sure. But then on top of that, you've got this entertainment factor that a lot of, like, I know Overwatch League puts that in on purpose. They hired casters and analysts who are funny and young and quirky and stuff like that. And they do funny bits and stuff. But with the MDI, it just kind of was born that way, I guess, just because of the nature of the hosts. Yeah,
it really
and
was.
It continues to this day, and that's one of the things that I love most about it. Is just it's fun.
It's fun.
It's entertaining.
It is fun. Speaking of which, let's just go over what's happening this weekend. If you really want to watch what's going on this weekend, we have the Eastern Cup #2 for MDI. We have Overwatch League, like we talked about. We also have AWC for ANZ. And those guys are going to be going again this weekend. I think that's Friday through Sunday. And it's week number 3 for those guys. So they only have 2 more weeks. And not this weekend, but next weekend is the Hearthstone Championship in Taipei. So,
ooh, that's going to be so cool.
Yeah. All of it's cool. It's all good.
It really is. God, Blizzard, thank you so much.
You did it again, Blizz. Way to knock it out of the park.
So much. That's right.
That's right. That's
what this weekend's going to be? It's going to be trying to play WoW while trying to play Overwatch, while trying to watch Overwatch, while trying to watch WoW.
Yeah. It's a good thing I have 4 screens. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Seriously. Now all you need is 4 hands.
What? Anyway, so we're gonna say goodbye. But before we do, I want you to be able to tell people where you're at and how they can find you and what maybe something cool you're doing over the next week or whatever.
That sounds very personal, Pat. I don't know.
I'm sorry.
That.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make it so personal. But go ahead.
You always do.
The floor is yours.
Hi, my name's Thyst. What's up? I do a podcast called Laggy Balls. We do a weekly show. It's real good. You'll like it if you like Blizzard stuff. We're coming up on our 4-year anniversary. We're doing a 24-hour live stream next month. You'll want to check that out. We do a stream on Friday nights that has nothing to do with Blizzard. Usually, we're coming up on our 69th episode of that on probably Friday. We've got some big plans for that. We're not sure if those plans are going to come through this Friday, but stay tuned.
Oh,
because it's gonna be good. Otherwise, you can find me on Twitter at this03. I also do a weekly show on Instagram TV and Snapchat Discover called Next Level, NXTLVL. You can search for that.
It's Next Level without the vowels.
Exactly.
So
yes. Yeah.
So it's
yes, and it's about gamer stuff, you know, because that's what we do. That's what we care about around here, you know.
I saw it, and it's good. It's a good little Snapchat show.
Oh, thank you, Patrick.
That you got going on there. So congratulations on that one.
Thank you.
Everybody should watch it. And if you guys are interested in what I do, you can always follow me over at Pat Krane with a K over on the social medias, whatever those are. And you can follow the show at Convert to Raid, of course, as always. And I'm going to stop that music, and I'm going to kick up this music right there. And you can also find the show pretty much everywhere. You can find us on YouTube and Twitch and SoundCloud and what are some of the other ones? Spotify, Pandora,
Groove Shark. No wait,
Red Dragon.
RedDragon.com.
That's not that. I don't know what that is. Don't go to that link, please. And of course, you can always catch us on ConvertToRaid.com. That's where we have all the different things. That's where we have our audios, our videos, our guild stuff. We just had a guild town hall meeting last week, and that was fun.
That was very good.
That was good. It was fun. And so much more. It's all over at ConvertToRaid.com. And that's going to be it for the show. So, you know, it's a very sad time. So might as well play happy music.
So sad.
So sad. But thank you guys so much for joining us. We really do appreciate it. Thank you, Twitch chat, as always, for making it weird and correcting me and helping me with red dragons. And so for Thyst and myself and for everybody here at Convert to Raid, thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time. Until then, bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye!